beautiful day. Well, because there's something I wanted to talk about, just to get down, to get it into the record, into my diary, which is that late night last night, I was coming home on the train. Uh, I stayed kind of late. I stayed late at the open mic because, I'm trying to do kind of the old New York thing and just hang out with people after the reading and prove that it can still be done and just chill and it's kind of nice to go out afterwards and decompress and kind of unpack the show, talk about it, or just hang out with the people. I don't get a lot of a chance to actually get to hang out with the people in the open mic. And so I went out. I was hanging out with Jason King and Danny Fallon and Ramsey. And, just shooting, just talking, with the great minds. Some of the great minds, the philosophers of our day. And I just had to get this down because I'm giving up my anonymity. I know Ashley is going to swat me. She's going to love bomb me as soon as she triangulates my signal. So I've got very little time. I'm giving up the rest of my day, basically, because I know she's going to come and ambush me. See, that's probably her right now. So anyway, okay, so I was hanging out late, because I just thought, what the hell, it's nice out. It's the first fucking time we can even be outside for, the last few months. I mean, we've just been cooped up. So I was taking the train home. I'm on the Q train. And I think it was like 4 in the morning, probably. I think it was, it was late. Maybe it was 3. I guess maybe it was 3 at that point. I was almost home. I was in Brooklyn. Luckily, the Q, it has been pieced up and this and that, but luckily it was just going straight through. So I thought, okay, no problem. And, I'm usually pretty alert. When I got on the train, I was careful to get on with a car. The reason why I got on the car I was on was because there was a bunch of MTA guys on the car, or MTA workers. And there was just other people. So I was like, okay, this car will be safe, no problem. Even though it's 3 in the morning, there was some people on it. And but people kind of got off. By the time I was like on Cortelliu Road, which is only like 3 stops from my house. Like, it's almost to my house, And so, I'm just sitting there, and I was rolling a joint for the walk home. So I have something to smoke in the walk home. So I had my little notebook on my lap, and I had my rolling papers out, and I had my front zipper of my backpack was open. And so I'm sitting there rolling a joint, and all of a sudden, these fucking kids are getting in my face about, I don't even know what they want, but before I know it, there's 2 kids, like, right on top of me. I'm sitting in that little seat. New Yorkers will know the train cars. On the trains with the orange seats, there's that really nice seat by the window. That's like, I always, because I'm way the fuck out on the train. The privilege of being way on the train is you generally get a seat because there's nobody fucking on it at that point. And so I always get the nice little seat by the window. It makes you feel like you're on some kind of fucking French countryside. Like I'm writing my novel in my booth, on the Q train. And so I'm sitting in like the cozy kind of corner window seat. It's a window seat. You got the nice lateral tracking. You got the landscape when you're going across the bridge. And so I'm sitting in my fucking corner seat, and all of a sudden these kids, I look up and it's like kids. There's like probably 6 or 8 kids, and they're wearing masks. Some of them are wearing masks. Some of them are wearing, but I was just so startled. There was literally one other guy on the train at this point. There was one other guy on the other side of the train, and he was like a bike delivery guy. And so I was kind of, I don't know, I wasn't really that alert. I was kind of just like, It's 3 or 4 in the morning. Probably nobody else is going to get on this fucking train. Like, and, you know, I guess I was looking down or something, but before I know it, and I look up, it's these little kids. If you're going to get robbed in New York City in the year 2024, it's probably going to be by like a 12-year-old. Because the 3 experiences that I've had with people trying to steal shit from me was all with like, they may not even have been 12. They may have been 8. They were like children. And these kids are in my face. Like I said, some of them are wearing masks. But then there's like this one little kid that's like the mean one. It looked like the same kids that tried to rob me before. Crazily enough, in Midwood, on the street. About a year ago, these little kids, there were 2 little kids. I keep getting robbed by little kids. I don't get this. But about a year ago, there were 2 little kids that were like, I was coming home by the storage facility near my house, and these little kids are like, give us your fucking money. And I just ran away. They're little. They didn't have a weapon or anything. What the fuck are they gonna do? You know, next time a bunch of little kids try to rob me, I'm just gonna beat their asses. I could have kicked all these kids' asses. That's what I realize now is like, you know, I could have whipped. It would have been, you know, I would have fucking clotheslined, super kicked them. I really could have taken all these little kids. But anyway, so I look up this little kid's like, these 2 kids, there's like 4. Yeah, we're out here getting bullied. We're trying. This is what I do to do this open mic and to be in the city, right? Because I'm way the fuck out on the train. And so, okay. So there's like probably 6 or 8 kids, and the kid's like, give us all your money, give us your cash. And I'm like, and I'm sort of like assessing the situation, you know, like I don't really want to give him my money. I'm like, no. And then he's like, then this other kid kind of gets in my face and he's like, give us your phone. We want your phone. And then this other kid, they see that like, because I was rolling a J, so the fucking front pocket of my backpack was open. So this kid like snatches an 1/8 out of my backpack. God damn it. He stole my fucking gelato. And so I'm like, fuck, you know, and I zip my thing up real fast. And the kid's like, give us your cash. Give us your cash. You got cash? And I'm like, no, I don't have any cash for you. And so I get up and I stand on the seat. Like I said, they didn't have a weapon or anything. And so I stand on the fucking seat, and like the kids are not like besieging me. They didn't hit me or anything. And so I just sort of jumped over the back of the seat and ran away from these small children. I mean, what the fuck were they gonna do? I mean, they were probably like 10. They were like this tall, probably, you know? And I'm not a huge person, but I could probably beat their ass. I could probably powerbomb the fuck out of these kids. I should have just started fucking throwing elbows at them. Beat the fuck out of all these little kids. I mean, what the fuck are they doing? It's like 4 in the morning. Where are their parents? It's a Monday night. These kids are fucking like, they're literally like 10, 12 years old. So I run to the other end of the train car just to sort of get away from them. And it was like a nightmare. They start chasing me. And there's 2 girls with them. The girl's like, give us your... She's the one who took the weed. She's the one who like reached in my backpack and got the weed. And this girl like runs to chase me on the other side of the train car. She trips and falls. And so like they weren't, like I said, they weren't even really trying that hard. Thank God, you know. But like as far as like robberies go, it was just, I don't know. I mean, I'm thank God I got away, you know. And so when I was on the other side of the train car, thankfully we got to the next stop. So I ran out of the train. I was like, are they gonna follow me? You know, like are they gonna chase me out on the fucking platform? And I was gonna run, well, this is what we were talking about right before. I was gonna run to the conductor, you know, because I've heard what you should do late at night on the car is you want to ride in the train car at the front because that's where the conductor is. You know, where was the National Guard? Kathy Hochul, how could you let this happen to me? I thought there was 1,000 fucking National Guard people supposed to be in the subway and being attacked by mobs of children. What the fuck is going on? You know, I don't think we need National Guard. I think these kids need to be in fucking school or juvenile delinquent fucking centers or something. Get them at the open mic. Get these kids a poetry open mic, for Christ's sake. They should not be out robbing people. They're pathetic. They're pathetic. They weren't even good at it. This is New York. You're supposed to be able to rob people here. You know, these kids had no fucking clue what they were doing. I mean, I got away. Look at me. I'm such a Ohio marshmallow. I would have started super kicking these motherfuckers. It'd be like, bah! I'd throw down on these little motherfuckers. Try it. Try it again. I'm going to get some mace or something. I should have just started macing these fucking kids. There were a couple ones that were bigger that looked like they were probably 16 or 18. They were the ones in the masks. And there was like I said, they were all on top of me all of a sudden. There's 4 or 5 or 6 guys. And so for a second, I was just like, you know, I had cash that I had just gotten paid from my job. You know, I walk out of there with cash because none of the fucking ATM lobbies are open because they all close at 10 p.m. for some reason. They get locked. Or they got a fucking security guard in the ATM who's not going to do shit. It's like, what the fuck? You know, there's all this police presence on trains. What for? So I can get robbed by children? It's not right. Something is rotten. But it's like, I don't know. So anyway, they got a bag of my weed. They got 1/8 of my weed. But, you know, so they stayed on the train. I don't know if they went on to rob more people, this band of marauders. These prepubescent marauders. But, I don't know. I don't really... The thing is, if I didn't live so far out on the fucking train, this probably would not have happened. And, okay, so then... At the very end, this girl grabbed these sunglasses out of my pocket. I had these sunglasses from the open mic. She took the sunglasses out of my pocket, and when they found out I wasn't going to give them anything, she threw the sunglasses at me, and they hit me in the face. And then this other kid spit in my face. The kid who was sort of like the ringleader. I got sort of jumped. I don't even want to say I got robbed because I didn't really get robbed. All they took was 1/8 of my weed. But basically a gang of 6 to 8, probably I'd say 10 to... There were a couple kids that looked like they were 16. This was at Cortelyou Road on the fucking Q train. So I got off the train. I had to wait 20 more minutes for the fucking next train at 4 in the morning because I didn't want to get on the same train. And I go to the next stop and they're like, there's an NYPD officer on the platform if you need to talk to him. It's like... I didn't even think about, you know, I'm not super spooked about it. It didn't bother me that much. Like I said, thankfully, they didn't have any weapons. If they would have had weapons, then that would have been a different fucking story. Thank God they didn't. But like, they're 8-year-old children. What are they gonna do? How much damage could they fucking possibly do without weapons, you know? So, you know, the kid spit in my face and they stole a bag of my weed. I want my fucking gelato back, okay? I want my weed back. I'm gonna Batman the fucking Q train. I'm gonna find these criminals. I will find these... Well, no, I mean, so as I'm running toward the conductor. This is what I do, I run away. The last time little kids tried to jump me, I ran away. You know, it's like, it's not my first instinct to like fight them. It was just like, I want to keep my money and avoid a problem. And as I'm running away toward the conductor, the kid's like, you're going to snitch on us? And I don't know, that did kind of influence me. I was going to run to the conductor. I don't even know what I was going to say. Hey, these little kids are on the train. They're marauders. They're just, you know, highwaymen. Trying to steal. Well, I've heard if they steal your phone, they can get into your fucking Venmo or this or that. So that was the thing that I was definitely not trying to fucking get stolen, but you know, I did have like probably $100 cash on me, and it's like, the kid, they're like, give us your cash, and I was just like, you know, I'm not giving these fucking kids my cash. Why? Make me. You want it? Bring it on, you know? Yeah, so, I don't know. I don't really look at it like this is a make or break New York thing. I think, you know, if I had to think of a reason why that happened, I mean, it is a part of Brooklyn that's like, you know, there's a stretch on the Q train between Coney Island and, you know, DeKalb or whatever, where it's just kind of, I don't know. There's just a corridor where it's like the only train on that line, you know, maybe that. And so late at night, especially, it's just like, I was the only person on that train car practically, you know. Like I said, it's not a huge deal to me. I don't feel like it's going to change my fucking life or anything, but I probably would like to have some kind of fucking mace or something. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't blame the kids for doing whatever the fuck it is they're doing. You know, God knows what kind of circumstances, you know, they're on the fucking train, and it didn't really seem, it seemed like they were trying to like figure out how to rob people. But I mean, the last time some people I thought were gonna rob me, it was kind of the same thing. I was at Canal Street, and there were two little kids that were following me on the fucking train platform. They had masks on, and they started chasing me because I had my fucking wireless microphone and shit. You know, I'm wearing a suit. I was wearing like this fucking I'm wearing this fucking, because it was the spring regatta. Thank God I took off my ascot. Then I would have thought I was really rich. I'm wearing this fucking suit that's like a double-breasted, you know, it's got all these fucking, thank you. It's got all these fucking buttons and shit, like I'm Thurston Howell or whatever. So they may have seen me and be like, oh, this fucking dude's probably got some money. I mean, this white guy is on the train and is part of, you know, well, that's the thing about Midwood is like, I do feel like I just kind of am out of place there, you know, and it's like, that's just kind of a dangerous feeling, you know, like I'm trying to be just like, you know, I don't feel unsafe really particularly, but, you know, it's clearly a neighborhood where like, you know, I don't know, it's just not typical for somebody who, of my fucking whatever, socioeconomic profile or whatever. Or I don't, so it's just like that can always, who knows what that could lead to. You know, this never happened to me before, really, the last year in New York. Nobody ever fucking tried to rob me or anything. But, thank God it was like, you know, it was not really a serious attempt. I don't think these kids are going to like develop into criminals, really. I think New York City is so overly policed that probably within the next few years, they will be, you know, the system will discover whatever the fuck attempts they make to try to be criminals and will like, you know, put them in some kind of, you know, one kind of fucking institution or another to straighten that out. You know, New York City is just so overly policed and this and that. I mean, I don't know that there are examples of like serious violent like robbery or anything. You know, it's like anytime there's things like this, like that guy punching the women in the head, it was just like this dude was fucking mentally kind of unusual. You know, he had a TikTok. If you watch his TikTok videos, they're insane. Like, it was clear that the guy was like a walking red flag and like, you know, had a lot of hostility toward women. But he was also just kind of like, you know, a mental anomaly or something. Okay. Sunglasses. Ditmas Park. Okay. Yeah, I mean, The sunglasses were pretty cool, to be fair. They were kind of like these, they were kind of like Wayfarers, but they were even like kind of like more angular than that. So, the sunglasses were one of the last things that they got. I think they they definitely wanted cash, and they did ask for my phone specifically. My friend, the thing is, like, now, this could happen to you fucking anywhere in this country. It's not, or, that's just what's happening to America. It's just not a fucking New York thing. These weren't illegals. These weren't, like, people, it's not indicative, I don't think, of some kind of, like, uptick in some kind of crime spree or something. It's like this whole country has deteriorated. And fucking, my friend in Columbus, Ohio, I heard, in German Village, which is like a nice neighborhood, but it's, it's near bad neighborhoods. Yeah, exactly. People are just going nuts. My buddy in Columbus, Ohio, got his fucking shit stolen. I think he was robbed at gunpoint. And while they were fucking robbing him, this is in Columbus, Ohio, while they're robbing him, they asked him to get out his phone and, like, empty his bank account. Like, that's fucking insane. That's, like, your worst nightmare as far as, like, if you're going to get mugged or something. I haven't really heard... Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of shit that I see. I see people just, like, who have been pushed to the brink by the fucking pandemic and Trump insanity and just, like, the way that this country has gone berserk over the last 7 years. Like, I think the pandemic really, I think it fucked everybody up. It put everybody in kind of this weird, we all have this weird, like, knot of energy that we just cannot get fucking rid of because we were inside for a year, or, particularly people who may have had existing mental illness or neurodivergence or something. I really think it pushed those people beyond into some kind of new... I mean, a lot of people died from the pandemic that it wasn't even COVID. It was like, you can tell just something disconnecting from people for a year. It's like they haven't really come all the way back, or maybe they can't come back if they're old or something, or if, maybe if they... And so a lot of people that are mentally... Like this guy who was punching women on the street. It was not like some Reddit dude. It was not some incel. It wasn't thought out in that way. It was just like, this dude is... watch his videos. They're fucking... definitely red flags. Like, the dude... he should have been probably taken care of and some kind of medicated or whatever the fuck they can do to help these people. It's just like, those people are on their own now. They're just on the streets. Or, there's videos of this guy hanging out in a bodega and he's just, like, yelling at the people for no fucking reason. It's like, I mean, even when I was in Columbus, man, the fucking road rage that people had and the way that they would act towards you, like, in their cars and shit, it was just like... I think we're all kind of dehumanized to each other. We are living in a sense of, like, unreality. We're in such a virtualized... The pandemic especially, we spent a year or something basically on Zoom and in kind of this virtual space. So there has been, like, this derealization. And, I don't know, man. I mean, I thank God, like, those kids were not, like, violent or anything. Or, if they would have had weapons, they could have done damage or something, but, it's also just like, it was like, what is it? This is like fucking, that's the Artful Dodger or something? I guess is it a tale as old as time that little kids just form, like, criminal gangs? Little orphan children, or, children that are... maybe don't have supervision. I don't know, man. It's like, apparently kids are, not going to school anymore. They're just giving up on school. They just stop going. And so I don't know. Society is just falling apart in a lot of different ways. But I don't necessarily think New York is like... The thing that sucks about New York right now is not like how crime-ridden it is. It's just how expensive it is and how prohibitive that is to allowing any kind of like class intersectionality, really. You know, the people that have possession of the arts and the platforms in New York City. I mean, New York City, I think this is part of it, is like the infrastructure is such, particularly within the subway system and the 5 boroughs, they can almost just like completely police who is here and who's allowed to be here. And that is a form of like social control. You know, by making New York so expensive that a working class person cannot come here and have their point of view represented. The only point of view that's represented is wealthy elites. So they're just all talking to each other in this island kind of cordoned off colony, you know. And it is different than the rest of the United States. The rest of the United States does have like a different kind of chaotic crime thing going on with mass shootings and I don't know. I think they are trying to like super ego New York with the National Guard and with adding cops and all this, and like it's obviously not working. Like if there's an illness, if there's a sickness, and I think there is, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying, is like, I'm out of place in that neighborhood. It's beyond the kind of hipster arm of things. And I don't have a problem with that. You know, I find it like a nice place to live, but it's also like, I am completely out of place in a way. And I don't feel uncomfortable necessarily with that, but I don't want to be auspicious or stand out or like call undue attention to myself, and not to put too fine a point on it or anything, but like, you know, when I moved to Midwood, there wasn't necessarily some kind of like war in Israel. And, you know, now it's like this situation is very close to exploding. And the thing about Midwood is it's mostly like very observant Jewish people who are probably super pro-Israel. But there's also like, there are other people that live there. You know, like there's a condo building near the train that's like, it's just weird because it's almost like this human warehouse where it's just like they put all the people who aren't, you know, Orthodox Jewish people. It's like sort of like a nouveau, you know, condo. It almost looks like something that'd be in Columbus or any city. You know, it's like the generic architecture, big courtyard with like a pool and shit. And even the building that I live in is like mostly kind of like immigrants. A lot of them are pro-Palestine, to be honest. So you have a lot of pro-Palestinian people, and you have a lot of pro-Israel people. And then you have me in my cool sunglasses. And I don't know. I mean, I'd love to get out of it. I do feel like I'm kind of at a point in my life where I've dug myself in a hole and I don't exactly know how to get out of it. You know, like you just need so much goddamn money to afford a place to live now. It's just like, I don't know what to do. You know, I live, by the grace of God, you know, they let me live there. And so I don't really have to have a full-time job. So I don't, you know, so I can afford it without working myself like everybody else in the fucking country, because the rent is so goddamn expensive. Not just here, You know, this is what I mean. It's like in the media, especially, they try to portray New York like it's like New York, San Francisco, Chicago, these blue mayor cities are, you know, these hellholes because you get what you vote for, right? You voted for Eric Adams, you voted for these blue mayors, you deserve, you know, busloads of illegals and crime, and but it's like New York is still statistically, you know, a safe big city. This country, the whole country is dangerous. You know, this is part of what I was talking to Danny Fallon about is like the country feels like it's flipped in a way. It's like New York used to be the kind of drug, you know, everybody was on crack or whatever, and it was dangerous, and it's like the ghetto or whatever. And suburban America was like nice. You know, people moved to the suburbs to get away from the kind of inner city, the crime-ridden inner city. Now it's like the opposite. Now it's like New York is the fucking suburbs and nice and safe. And rural America's like the crack ghetto where everybody's doing meth and sucking dick for coke or whatever. And, but I think the quality of life just across the board for everybody is deteriorating so fucking fast. You know, so New York is not the Bloomberg kind of rich people, gentrified, safe, ultra safe place that it was. It's sort of a mix. There's some, you know, it's like there's some ultra gentrified kind of safe places for rich people, but they're also protected. And then there's, you know, gritty kind of death wish stuff where you get robbed by children. But you know, like the gun control is pretty serious here. Like if you get caught having a gun, you go to fucking jail. And so that's very different than the rest of the country where everybody's got guns every fucking place. Okay. Welcome to the future, everybody. We're live. This lady's looking at me like, what the fuck are you doing on my doorstep? Oh, there's an open mic here. Fucking Cowgirl Seahorse. Oh my god. Okay, so forgive me. I'm a little shaken up, guys. Well, okay, yeah. Like I said, I feel like all New York City is a lot safer than what. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Bam. Exactly. You nailed it. Way less predictable. That's a, you know, like as far, you know, not to glorify it or anything, but to me, to some degree, this is like part and parcel of New York, living in New York. But it's also like this shit could happen to you anywhere in this country now. New York used to be incredibly, insanely dangerous. What is happening now does not compare in any way, shape, or form. Not that I was here before, but like, it's almost like, you know, it's like night and day, really. Like, even though that happened last night, that's really nothing. You know, that pales in comparison. I'm a snowflake, okay, from the Midwest. So, of course, to me, that was, you know, traumatic. That was my trauma. I'm going to share my trauma. I wrote a poem about it. Okay. So I'm going to share my trauma. I'm sharing I had to go immediately and put it online. That's how much of a snowflake millennial I am. I got robbed by a bunch of 6-year-olds. I had to go wee to my live stream page. But yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. There's just less predictability because everybody's lost their fucking mind. You know, people are pushed to the limit. That's why it was one of the reasons why it was so fucking dangerous to elect Trump and why so many people were so vocally against it, because the dude just encouraged the Joker kind of like sadistic derangement. You know, it just aggravated and pushed psychopathic behavior. in a that's what stand-up comedy is now. It's all just roasting. What does Trump do? He just roasts people. You're soft. You're low energy. It's like that's 80% of stand-up comedy now. It's just fucking being a fucking douchebag. Basically. So I don't know, man. I don't know how to, it was a miracle that I got that rent-controlled apartment. That's how I was able to sort of launch my new life in New York. But I hope that happens again. If anybody else has any leads on rent-controlled apartments, I'd love something in the West Village, a nice little walk-up or something. But, that was not happening to me when I lived in Chelsea. I didn't get fucking robbed by a bunch of children. I barely ever took the train. The subway does seem to be the place where a lot of this stuff happens. I don't know, you're trapped down there. Like, were these kids just riding the train back and forth looking for somebody? Were they practicing? Was that like a drill? It seemed like they were trying to figure out how to do it, but they also... I'm sure the consequences for that are probably pretty severe now. That's the other thing about New York is, like, shit is super criminalized. When Giuliani and those people came in, it's like graffiti, the shit they'll do to you if you do graffiti is, like, really severe. And so, probably for some kind of robbery, who knows? Not for illegals. Apparently illegals just get... released immediately. There's no bond or whatever. That's what people like to complain about. But for people in this country, it's like, I don't know. I don't know what the fucking law is, but I didn't really want to get the police involved. But the kids spit in my face. Oh my God. It's just the grit. That's the grit that we moved here for. Okay, so one of my friends who lived kind of near where Ashley lives, uptown. She lived there like 20 years ago, I think 2004. A bunch of people from my high school all lived in one apartment. There were like 4 girls from my high school. They lived in one room, kind of in like near Columbia. But at that time, it was still sketchy. It was still like, Harlem was still pretty fucking sketchy at that time. And so she was trying to get in a cab one day. She's trying to get in a cab one day. She opens the door to the cab. This homeless guy closes the door on her, goes, "Give me some money." She doesn't give him any money, so he smacked her in the face. Like that was, I feel like every New Yorker had a story like that, probably. If you lived in New York pre-2000 or whatever, you probably have a story like that, or you probably saw somebody jacking off on a train. That stuff still kind of happens, but I don't think it's like it was. Yeah, the kid threw my sunglasses at me. He hit me in the face with my own sunglasses. Go straight to jail. This kid should be put in jail, okay? I want this to go viral. I want people talking about this on TikTok, okay? These women got punched in the head. They got all this media coverage. I got robbed by children on the train. I want to go viral, okay? I should have filmed it or something. I should have made a TikTok. Wait, if you're gonna rob me, let me make a TikTok about it. I'll give you my money. Just let me film it. You can have my phone. Just let me post it real fast. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm a little worried. I definitely would like to. I'd like to move. I don't necessarily mind where I live, but it doesn't seem to really be gelling. They threw my sunglasses at me because I didn't give them anything. There were literally like 6 to 8 kids, 2 girls. There were 2 kids that were like a little bigger, that looked a little older. They're the ones that I was like, oh fuck, this is like real. Because when I first looked up, I was like, is this real? Like, what's going on here? You know, like these little kids are fucking, are they serious? Like, what are they trying to sell me candy? What is this? You know, they got candy bars. And so I gradually realized, okay, they're kind of serious. And there were these two kids behind them that came in and they were wearing masks. So I'm like, oh, fuck. I was like, how am I going to get out of this? I was like, I don't want to give them my money. And they've got me cornered. Like, I seriously thought, how am I going to get out of this? I was like, I'm going to have to give them my shit. You know, but they didn't really apply any force. That's what I'm saying. It's like, by the grace of God, the angels protected me. Thank you, Jesus. But they also didn't, you know, apply any force. Thank God. And then there were like two girls in the back. There were probably 6 to 8 people, and there were two girls. They all looked like they were like probably 10 or 12 or something. I don't want to go by this highway. And the girls, thank God they didn't get any of my notebooks. You know, thank God they really didn't get anything. I didn't lose anything, really. You know, thank God. You know, they didn't steal. I'm glad they didn't grab my poetry notebook. They would have been like, oh, what the fuck is this? This guy writes stupid little poetry. Then they probably would have thrown it back in my face. They would have thrown it at me. The brutes. Violent, just thugs. These thugs. They're not sending their best. It's an infestation, okay? We need to crack down. It's an infestation of these child thieves. They should all be put in jail. Give them the chair. I want to prosecute to the full extent of the law. I'm prosecuting the full extent of the law. I'm hiring high-powered lawyers. I'm getting high-powered attorneys. God damn it! These people spit in my face and threw my sunglasses at me. Yeah, so, okay. Yeah, I think I had my notebook in this pocket, and my sunglasses were in the left pocket. And so they grabbed the sunglasses out of my pocket, and they were like a gang out of a movie or something. You know, they were trying to intimidate me. But it didn't really work because they were all a foot shorter than me. I mean, I should have just started fucking stone cold stunnering these little bastards. You fuck with the wrong person, okay? You picked the wrong fucking person. You picked John Wick, all right? I'm gonna John Wick you motherfuckers. I seriously felt like I could have Bruce Lee'd these kids. There were like 20 of them. I felt like I could have just been like, bam! And just fought all of them at once. And fought them all off. But who knows? If I would have started fighting them, they probably would have... That would have given them permission to do whatever they want. So, thank God nothing happened. I ran away, okay? None of us have good enough... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, see, that's what I would be worried about. Losing something like that. Well, that's why they could have been like, give us your backpack. Just give us the whole fucking thing. You know, it's like I had my cameras in there. You know, I probably have at least $35 worth of cameras. If they would have stolen my backpack, they would have gotten at least, you know, they would have gotten probably $5 in like obscure poetry. They would have gotten some really bad, not very good cables. They would have gotten about $20 worth of weed. And they would have got a digital hard drive camera from 2001 and a Nikon DSLR from like 2010. And they would have completely, you know, disempowered my entire artistic empire. It would have dealt like really not, but you know, I don't know. God was on our side. Everyone walked away. They got to learn a little bit about don't fuck with, debonair looking, guys. I don't know. I mean, I just, I normally have got like a big winter coat on or something, so I probably did look like wealthy because of my boating attire. Can I get in this way? Fuck. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Yeah, so that was my, I don't know. I guess I'm so traumatized that I'm just dealing with it through humor, trying to get sympathy on the internet. Well, I just wanted to get the story down. It felt like something I wanted to get the details of it and just kind of relive. But I wanted to do testimony. Someone broke into my parents' place in Mexico. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Well, it's like they're thieves. They don't really, in the media, in movies and shit, they portray criminals like they know what the fuck they're doing, or they're super suave, or they're these cool mafia guys or whatever. It's like they're a bunch of thugs. Well, it's like, it's just as clumsy as anything, especially something that's as in the moment and like confrontational. It's like you're riding on your nerve like that. Think about how crazy you'd have to be to try to rob somebody. You'd really have to be, what life circumstances, you know what I mean? It happened last night at probably like 3 a.m. This kid spit in my face on the train because I didn't give him anything, basically. They threw my sunglasses at me and they spit in my face because I didn't just give them whatever they wanted. To be honest, they were incompetent. This is New York. You're going to have to try a little harder than that, okay? I know I'm not, Thank you for tuning in, Starlight Sunshine. Yeah, so I'm traumatized. I'm just trying to have some kind of therapeutic catharsis. And this is my testimony. This is my online witness statement. Thank you for your sympathy. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll just have to be more alert. Okay, so I ended up I did go home super late. I never go home that late. I did kind of, I wouldn't say I let my guard down, and it even occurred to me, before I got on the train, I sort of had a flashback where I remembered that moment a few months before where these kids tried to jump me, these little kids. I don't know, all these little kids have it in for me, but maybe I look easy to rob for them. If I was some super finance bro, predator or something. Yeah, thieves are generally not savvy or smart. Yeah. They're just like us. Thieves, they're just like us. You only get one take if you're trying to rob somebody, okay? There's no edits. There's no, wait a minute. You're in the moment. It's got to be, you're committing a crime. That's got to be really nerve-wracking and difficult. I understand. I'm surprised that they let me get away. I literally stood up on the fucking chair in the subway like this. Generally my reaction when I'm getting robbed is I want to just get as much attention as possible. When these kids tried to rob me last year, these two little kids, I ran out into the street, even though it was like 3 a.m. I just ran into the middle of the street. Yeah, there you go. Because I just thought, if a car drives by or something, I'll just flag them down and be like, hey, these kids are fucking robbing me. Get witnesses, just cause as much of a commotion as possible. I don't know. I was a little, I wasn't thinking that fast, but I wish they hadn't got my bag of weed. It's like you can see the kind of chaos in what they got and what they didn't get and how they got it. They got one bag of weed just because the girl snatched it out of my thing. But then I zipped the thing up, you know. It's like they didn't really they could have just grabbed my backpack, you know. Thank God they didn't. I don't know why they didn't. I don't know what their point was. You know, like, were they really trying to fucking... Yeah, I should have pepper sprayed all these little kids. It seems like the most benevolent way to kind of neutralize somebody. You know, it's like it probably really disengages them. I'm not really into a taser. Taser's a little bit too far. I don't really want to tase anybody. But I feel like pepper spray... Some guy was selling it, actually, when I came out of the fucking train at Union Square the other day. This guy was like, pepper spray, mace, blah, blah, blah. And I laughed. I was like, that's hilarious. This guy's like literally like hustling pepper spray. Now maybe I'll buy it. Maybe I'll go back there. Okay, Ashley, I don't know what you're talking about. I got robbed, Ashley. They stole $50 worth of weed from me. No, see, I knew this would happen. Oh, boy. We'll see. Did you watch? Do you know what happened to me? I'm traumatized, Ashley. I mean, I guess this could happen anywhere. An ice pick? Is that what... See, I don't know if I'd want to have, like, a violent... Pepper spray feels like... Because, you know, the thing is, any weapon could be turned against you. I think I could live through pepper spray. If I had an ice pick... I don't want to get ice picked. Okay, Ashley, please do not... Can we get a moderator in the chat? We need a moderator. I need a mod. Otherwise, it's just gonna... Ashley's banned from the chat. That's rule number 1 is you can't spam the chat, okay? Okay, Ashley, yes, we will figure it out, okay? Just let me do my 2 hours. Yes. Okay, I don't know, yeah, like I'm trying not to read into... But what does it say? This dude's selling pepper spray. They're adding more cops to the subway, and crime seems... I don't... To some degree, it feels like all of the statistics that they're throwing at us in the mainstream media are lies. Maybe that's just like because I'm a TikTok conspiracy theorist now, but like when they say the economy's doing great, they added jobs, you know, growth, whatever the fuck, it's like, for who? For what? It's like the crime is down, or, you know, like I guess the crime statistically is not really higher than it has been. Okay, Ashley, you don't have to put the emphatic capital letters on every fucking thing, okay? What's with this capitalization of everything all of a sudden? The emphatic capitalization, okay, it's getting out of control. Yeah, so why is the guy selling pepper spray outside of Union Station all of a sudden? You know, and why are there little kids? Why have I been accosted 3 times by gangs of little kids like it's fucking Neverland? Like it's fucking Hook. It's Rufio and fucking... Yes, Ashley, thank you, okay. Yeah, exactly. They add... It's all these weird statistics and... Yes, Ashley, okay. Yes. Yeah, Starlight Sunshine is... Thank you for watching. Thank you. We got Cannonball, the legend Cannonball Statman. You know, the open mic was great. I mean, we had a nice show. It's unfortunate that was marred by me getting spit in the face, but... I guess that's what I get for wearing cool sunglasses by Ditmas Park. But... Oh my God. People carry ice picks? That's the preferred deterrent? Mode of deterrent is an ice pick? Really? Everybody on the fucking Q train's got an ice pick but me? Well, it's crazy because the next train I got on, I was super paranoid. And I was like, worried that the kids were going to be on the same train. You know, I was like, oh my God, are they going to find me? Are they going to come and find me and like get the stuff they didn't get? And So I got on the next train, and like there was all these people on it that were like going to work and shit because it was 4 a.m. There were like all these, kind of suburban looking people. And then when I got off the train, I think these people were following me. All these people got off the train that I thought were the kids who tried to rob me. Well, I was out because it's the open mic, and so the open mic doesn't end till 1:15 or so. I don't really get out of there till 1:30, 1:45. And last night I sort of made the decision. I was like, you know what? I'm going to hang out afterwards. It's a nice night. It's the first night of spring. That's like, the weather's nice. I don't have a coat on. And Danny Fallon and Jason King and Ramsey Hernandez were there. So I was like, you know what? I want to talk to these guys. I've got time. Let me fucking just hang out and just let's talk about the world I want to hear their opinions. I never get to fucking actually hang out with anybody at the open mic. I'm always just like doing the show and then people leave. And so it's like, I was like, you know what? I'm hanging out. It's New York. This is a 24-hour fucking city, supposedly. Somebody's got to hang out after the mic and talk and so we went to Popeye's Chicken. We sat in the booth in Popeye. Thank God these kids didn't steal my Popeye's Chicken. That would have really pissed me off. Thank God they didn't get my Popeye's Chicken. Ashley, enough, okay? I said yes. What do you want? What more do you want? We know. Everybody knows. They see the vlogs. They see Ashley. They understand. Okay, so anyway, they didn't steal my Popeye's Chicken, God damn it. I fought them off like goddamn Batman. I beat the shit out of all these children who tried to rob me. I threw my batarang at them and like Christian Bale's Batman. I bodied these fucking children. Come at me. Come the fuck at me. Exactly. Stay away from my fucking Popeyes. I had Surf and Turf. For some reason, they don't serve this at any other Popeyes but the one on First Avenue. But I give it 5 stars. It's a Michelin-starred restaurant as far as I'm concerned. Popeyes on First Avenue. They're very nice. They give you the biscuit. $6. It's really a miracle financially. And they're open. It's the Popeye's Chicken in the East is the hottest club in New York, okay? It's the only place that's open at fucking 2 a.m. Everything else is Deadsville except Popeye's. Popeye's is lit. Well, it's not really lit. It's a bunch of delivery guys, and then me and Danny Fallon are sitting there talking about everything I'm talking about right now. The nuclear family, crime, America, smoking crack. Goodbye, Ashley. Go write your poetry, your award-winning poetry. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Veselka, okay, I don't think Veselka still 24/7? A lot of the places that were 24/7 have gone to B&H, right, was 24/7. And now I don't even know when the fuck they're open. That's crazy to me that these restaurants have not gone back to 24/7. You'd think that they would make, the other thing is Veselka got all that glass. Veselka is it feels like a different place now that it's all this glass. I don't know. Not that that Ray's place, there's still some places. But it's not like it was where you go to Cafe Jaffa or 7. The East Village was truly a 24/7 place. I think Odessa it's Superiority Burger now. I think they had to sell. That whole block, they're selling, I think that Lucy's place, they got put out of business. I mean, I can accept that New York is becoming a new place and there's gonna be a new New York for the 21st century, but the fact that it's not 24 hours a day is crazy to me, because that is essential to the New York. That's New York's absolute character, See, that's the old New York right there. A guy on coke complaining about his mansion on Long Island. Oh, I met Uncle Bubbles yesterday. Do you know Uncle Bubbles? I just had a weird day. I guess I look easily approachable by people. I guess I should try to look less approachable, but yeah, too many Wi-Fi networks in his mansion on Long Island. Ay, ay, ay. That's cokehead finance bro problems right there. I can't stand these people. I see. This is the thing: is I don't even know if I can live in New York, and it's not because of these circumstantial things, although it's definitely that stuff too. But it's just like the only people that can afford to live here now are just not appealing. There's less and less of kind of like an underdog, working class, outsider artist. You know, thank God for people like Jason Trachtenberg or Cannonball, Ashley. Well, I don't know. I mean, you know, the people who are willing, Danny Fallon, you know, Jason King, people are willing to fucking hang out till 4 a.m. talking about the issues of the day. You know, this is what I mean by it's a social control. Because they don't want us gathering at Popeye's Chicken. They don't want there to be a Jaffa Cafe. They don't want there to be a Life Cafe. They don't want these 24-hour socialists. You know, the East Village was a place of revolution. Fucking Trotsky or whatever was in the East Village, right? Like, it was a place where these bars were places where they would gather and talk about politics. Now it happens on the internet. That's why they want to get rid of TikTok. That's why I'm live streaming my dick off on fucking... Ashley, you stop! You stop! Okay, this woman's telling me to hush. This woman is literally telling me to hush because I'm yelling. Because of you, Ashley. Sorry. She's trying to do Tai Chi and she's, alright, maybe I should start walking. This woman, I'm fucking up her Tai Chi. Okay. I don't want to fuck up this snobby old lady's Tai Chi. She heard me yelling. She told me to hush. Did you hear that? I got hushed. I got hushed on my own live stream. This is New York, lady, okay? We're loud, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what it is anymore. It's all the same. Every place has become one place. It's all been leveled. That's why New York is like suburban and not 24 hours. Because people want their little fucking suburban lives and their projector TVs and to binge watch The Bachelor or whatever the fuck. Newest reality programming competition, bloodthirst, fuck contest. And just Venmo, you know, there's going to be two classes of people, okay? There's going to be food delivery people and finance crypto bros, okay? Choose your fighter. You're going to be one or the other. Ashley, you got me kicked out of Westbeth. The woman literally hushed me because you are using all capitals in the chat. What do you want? Okay? Do you see this? Do you see the way I'm abused by this abuser? Please, Ashley. You got me kicked out in the chat of my live stream. That's how insane you are. The woman literally hushed me. She was trying to do Tai Chi and she hushed me. Because I was yelling. Because look, lady. This is the future. Get used to it. There's going to be fucking influencers live streaming all over your neighborhood for the rest of your life. This is only the beginning of people with selfie sticks talking to their phones. Talking to 4 people on the internet. Yes, sometimes Ashley and I hang out, everybody. Sometimes we hang out. Ashley can't stand the idea that I'm hanging out with some other person. She has to make it clear that I also hang out with her too sometimes. Sometimes Ashley and I hang out late at night, okay? We go to the gay bar by her house, which is one of the last happening places in New York. Ashley, did you see what you did? You got me kicked out of Westbeth. That woman was trying to do her Tai Chi, god damn it. Look at me. I see something, my energy is just too big. I'm getting robbed, I'm getting my face spit in, old women are hushing me. I can't stand this anymore. What is this? This is Pluto and Aquarius in all its glory. The ups, the highs, and the lows. The highs are not that high, but the lows are interesting and new. Yes, call me, Ashley. I don't know. I think I might have to ban you from the chat. You have to be punished for what you've done, okay? Ashley has to be punished for her bad behavior. She's bad. Oh my God. As you can see, I have no boundaries. I have no control over her whatsoever.
So I got running shoes.
Okay, Ashley, please stop. Please, please, God, please let us.
I like my.
It's like Problem Child.
I also try to focus.
Okay, where was I? What else was I fucking talking about? I got robbed. I got hushed. What next? You know? What now? Where can I go just to find peace? Nowhere in this world wants me. Well, this is what's really scary is like it's so expensive to live anywhere. I don't know where I'm going to go. I don't know what I'm going to do. The way of life for people like me is disappearing. You know, you cannot live on the cheap anymore. There's no such thing. And I just don't know how I'm going to make the numbers add up. Yeah, Ashley's triangulated my location, as you can see. That's why I was at Westbeth. I was trying to find something new. But, okay. Well, okay, if you want to be honest about it, well, I can't be honest about it. But I don't know what the future is. Because... oh, God. I wish that I made a living. I wish that I got paid enough money to afford an apartment without having to get a job that I hate. You know, I wish somehow, and I wish somehow my poetry, my live streams, and my open mics financed a great apartment in the West Village that I could live in by myself and control and meet with my subversive friends and talk about our subversive politics and develop our avant-garde poetry in whatever fucking way we want. I think you do have to have economic stability to create avant-garde poetry. You have to have wealth already, because in order to do something that has no monetary value that no one will pay for, you have to have a financial base to work off of. And that means either having a rent-controlled apartment where you don't have to, where your rent is $100 a month or $200 a month, or being independently wealthy from your parents or whatever. Me, I'm in a third category. I'm not sure what that is, but homeless. That's one way to sustain your avant-garde poetry, I guess, is just be homeless. Oh, I'm so sick of Bleecker Park. I'm so sick of Bleecker Park. I think the future is being designed by finance tech criminals, and they are not going to monetize anything I ever do. Our culture is dying quickly before our eyes. There's so much mediocre, popular art out there. They want to suffocate us all. That's how it feels. And I don't know. I mean, okay, the future is us. The future is us. The future is now. I mean, I think we're already doing it. We're already living according to our principle, and we're already doing it. But okay, this is something I wanted to talk about. There was an article in the New York Times about the hottest club in New York is readings. The hottest club in New York are literary events, apparently. And why? Why are literary events so popular or, trendy? Why do all the hot, sexy Dime Square people want to go to literary shit, go to Matt Gazda plays or whatever? And they mentioned KGB, they mentioned the fucking drift, which they always do. And they weren't really talking about, they were talking about readings that like popular hot people who are rich are going to. They weren't talking about like, any of the random open mic shit that, the circuit that we're on. it was more like they're selling all these tickets to like magazine launches. They did a reading at Comme des Garçons, right? Ashley, I think you were probably on one of these readings. You get offered to do that stuff from time to time. Okay, Ashley, let me smoke weed. Hold on. I'm going to pull over here for a second. I'm putting my camera on various garbage cans. This episode all over the place, okay? I'm traumatized. This old woman shushed me. I got spit in my face and robbed by a gang of thugs.
Every day.
I mean, it could be a lot worse. I think I heard some story about some guy got on, 20 years ago, 1990 or something. Some guy got on the wrong train in Brooklyn and got beaten to death or something. It's like, it's not like that. That shit is not happening in New York. People, everybody's got Citizen app. So, I don't know. I got a bag of weed stolen. Not a big deal. Ashley, if you want to help me, anyway, so reading event, people, hey, they will threaten legality. Okay. Talk to my lawyers. Have your attorney contact my attorney, okay? I don't care. At this point, we're all living like there's just no future, no hope. Is this on speaker at the Brandy Melville Cafe? They're also writing all these articles. I'm seeing Brandy Melville get all this coverage. I saw this thing about Brandy Hellville. Did you see that? Brandy Hellville. So yeah, the hottest club in New York are literary events. I would say that's, I'm FaceTiming with my mom. That's right. Thank you, Adam S. You're my anarchist hookup there. I have incredible people in the comments. I just want to give everybody. I'm excited. Yeah, exactly. That's a good summation of the New York Times right there. The people in the comments are incredible. I have such an eclectic, incredible. The fact that Cannonball Statman and Adam S. and Ashley and Starlight Sunshine, what an amazing comment section. I'm FaceTiming with my mom, okay? I'm telling her about how I got robbed. I just use a selfie stick, to give me some nice framing for mom. Ashley is incredible. Yeah, the hottest club in New York is literally, hot people want to be smart. Now it's like, everybody wants to subvert the cliches. If you're hot, you're an airhead, or you just want everything. You want to be the total package. You want to be hot, you want to be smart, you want to be a genius, you want to be an actor, you want to be a director, you're a narcissist. I don't know. I do think literature has become like the Whole Foods of people's egos or something. It's like, oh, I'm such a smart, thoughtful person that I carry a Paris Review tote bag. Or oh, I'm going to the reading at the Drift party. I'm going to this it's taking on, because it's an analog culture and it's sort of a prestige culture, it's taking on this new meaning in a culture that's increasingly just garbage and throwaway and online. And like I said, I think people want to subvert cultural expectations in music. To be honest, for a guy like me, okay, it's not interesting to be a musician. It's not interesting to be even a filmmaker per se, but to be to write poetry, I would say, is something that actually is culturally unexpected, and people would rather, I think, celebrate. If I get up and play acoustic guitar in front of people, I'm just another white guy with an acoustic guitar. It's how many fucking times have we seen that? Whereas writing literature, I think people want an experience that's chill. You know, they want to be read to. They want something that's not loud, that's not overly stimulating, that's not that is like thinking. I think that like readings have always actually been popular. It's like probably one of the oldest human activities, or just like going, listening to somebody talk, listening to, you know, human voice. And God, I'm trying to cruise for like a fucking seat in this park, but there just are not any, man. This is ridiculous. I can't even get a seat in my own park, man. Someday they're gonna name this fucking park after me. How do you know when a poem is finished? Okay, great question. When you stop writing. Well, you can feel an ending, to be honest. And I think there's a lot of points that you could end something. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to answer this question, because I guess typically what that means is like, how do you know when you're done revising it? Which, to be honest, I don't really revise things anymore, which I know is probably not good. I mean, I do, but, you know, how do you know when a poem is finished? Meaning, how do you know when it's complete? How do you know when everything is there that needs to be there, and you can walk away? I mean, to be honest, I think for a lot of poems, there is always like the itch to go back and tweak one or two things. You know, even that's one reason why I print my books the way I do, because every new book I print, I could theoretically change it and just print a new one, you know? It's not like I'm sending out 5,000 copies and that it's done. You know, to me, I like to have something that's a little bit alive and still changing. You know, a lot of poets, when they publish their paperback edition, they'll change stuff. They'll change punctuation, they'll change words. There's always a word you want to change, or maybe something you want to take out, but then you take it out, it doesn't look right, you put it back in, but then it doesn't look right, so you take it out again. You know, there's always those kind of like little tweaks. So in a certain way, I don't think a poem is ever finished, hopefully. But I'm also trying to be active in an era that's like a little bit more open to that and a little bit more alive to that. Like, look at Kanye, right? He'll change his albums and shit. You know, he'll change the mixes, because it's like, you could just take down the tracks and shit like that, you know what I mean? And put it up anew all the time. You know, we're living in like a remix era where a lot of footage gets repurposed and shit. Look at, like, you can watch the fucking Sopranos on TikTok, but it's literally just like one scene at a time, and it kind of comes at you randomly. I'm sure they didn't intend that when they made the thing. So I would say that, like, if you're really trying to finish something, to like make it so it like works every time, it's like, to be honest, I think that it's very underestimated. Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. It's underestimated feel and intuition. This is something they don't really teach you. You know, I went to theater school. I was in English classes. They don't really teach you, like, listen to yourself, listen to your feel. If you feel like something shouldn't be there, you know, there is like a feeling of balance. And, you know, there are definitely certain poems that I've written that I worked on until they were as good as I could make them. And to be honest, like, I think you are you're looking for when something sounds perfect. You know, if it sounds, and that is like an intuition feel thing. It is up to you to feel like, okay, that's right. You know, you can explain why it might be right, but it's also like, you know, you like poetry, the best words in the best order, meaning like it has to be this way. May the force be with you. Like if they said that any other way, it wouldn't be as effective, right? So that's how you know it's done. If that's what you're going for. Because it just sounds right. You know, you fucking say it, and it fucking sounds right, and you're in place. That's Steve Van Zandt right there. That's fucking Silvio from The Sopranos right there on Perry Street. I didn't want to make a huge deal, but that's him. Wow, this live stream really has it all. We got hushed. I got spit in my face. Fucking Steve Van Zandt was in it. All these people are looking at me now. Oh, I'm FaceTiming with my mom. Hi, Mom. Hello, Mom. I should have said that when I was with Steve Van Zandt. Hi, Mom. Oh, I think the president is here. I think Obama's here or something. These are like U.S. government cars. That's like a president or something, I think. Or was that Steve Van Zandt? Does he have U.S. government plates? Does Silvio Dante have government plates? I don't know. Yeah, Lil Steve. Oh God, I only have 20% battery. Ashley, do not condescend and sabotage my life. Okay, I do want to speak that Ashley is just sabotaging my entire life. Okay, in front of everybody, I don't know how to stop it. She seems to be like turned on by it or something. It also disappears from the collective memory. The poem is finished when it says I'm finished and starts eating itself and disappears, leaving no record of its existence. And people are like, what the fuck happened to that poem? And then it also disappears from the collective memory. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think it's kind of a lie. You know, a poem, like, it is speaking when you're on mushrooms. Like, it happens once and it's done. You know, any kind of revision is like a mental trick. You know, any kind of, like, printing, republishing, that's all, like an optical illusion. God, all the celebrities are out today. The president is here, Stevie Van Zandt. I really picked a good time to live stream. All right, I'm going to go until I have 10%. Because it's such a presidential day. I feel like the president of the goddamn United States of poetry right now. Getting robbed of my intellectual property. I will not let my phone die. Sorry, I'm sorry. Okay. Look at this. You're being completely toxic in the comments. You're making me seem like I'm the toxic male. Look, there's Steve Van Zandt, okay? Steve Van Zandt, I want you to understand that I had the politeness not to live stream you, really. I could have really made a big deal out of that, and I didn't. I could have put it right in your face. I can't believe I'm the only person out here doing this, to be honest. How am I the only person walking around with a selfie stick talking into my phone? I don't know. I guess I'm just an obnoxious asshole ruining the rich people's party. Do not live stream in the rich neighborhood, okay? They will hush you. They pay a lot of money in taxes to prevent creativity like this from happening in their neighborhoods. They want silence for their debauched sex parties. Their eyes wide shut parties. Ashley was taking selfies all day with her dog, Georgette. With her big poodle, her big labradoodle, Georgette. What about me loving my mom? Did I say something about my mom? Ashley was on Waverly in the 11th. Me and Lil Steven, Ashley. Did you see me and Lil Steven playing guitar together? Yeah, like the boss. Look at this. Look at this fucking hood ornament. Isn't that dope as hell? It's a fucking pool cue. Wow. Thank God that guy lives here. He's probably some finance asshole, criminal, crypto douchebag. He's a crypto douche. Hey, Mom. Oh, yeah. Hey, Mom. Hey, Mom, little Steven. Hey, can you say hi to my mom real fast? Can you say, just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. Tone. I like his music. I love the Underground Garage. That was a huge influence on me as in the barren wasteland culturally of the 2000s. I did listen to Little Steven's Underground Garage. It had Nuggets. Remember Nuggets? I mean, Nuggets was completely my jam. Nuggets was my abstract expressionist New York school. I really think Nuggets was like New York school in a way. I mean, Lenny Kaye did it. It was like acid rock. Yeah, let's go to Bouvet, Ashley. We're going to Bouvet. There's my house. Someday I'm going to buy this house. This is a fucking promise. It cost $6 million. I'm buying this fucking house. When I'm a crypto douche. When you become a billionaire crypto douche. I'm gonna buy all these fucking houses and tear them all down. I'm gonna tear all this shit down, man. I'm tearing all this shit down. I'm renovating all of it with my crypto bucks. I'm gonna install my crypto open mics everywhere. My crypto live streams, my crypto poetry chapbooks. Tiptoe through the tulips with me, crypto bros. It's the 21st century, okay? We're driving electric spaceships and cryptoing the brownstones. And we're cryptoing through the tulips, okay? Through the crulips. Bouvet or tartine, the eternal question. Bouvet or tartine, what will my rich fucking Trustafarian ass want to do today? Where shall I sup on the blood of the working class? Where shall I drain the blood of the peasantry into my Bloody Mary? Ashley's logging off. I vote Bouvet. Bouvet is where we shall exploit the proletariat. I can't do it, okay? As long as there are people who have to work for a living, I cannot eat in a restaurant. It's just not right. It's like that West End Boys song by Pet Shop Boys. In a restaurant in a darkened town. No. Fuck you, Steve Van Zandt. How dare you judge me for live streaming on my selfie stick? I know you're a super celebrity because of The Sopranos. Why are you visiting the Sex and the City stoop? Why are you getting a picture in front of the Sex and the City stoop, Little Steven's Underground Garage? I just want to sit in fucking Berkeley Park where my statue of myself is risen from my live stream crypto legend. The Empire State Building of fucking crypto. With a big ass statue of my selfie stick on top. And Van Leeuwen ice cream inside, everybody. Don't we? Why are you such a hater on New York? Why does Adam ask, what do you think, Cannonball? Is New York over? Am I ever gonna make it here? I think people here have no fucking sense of humor. They're hushing me. Do not hush me. This woman is like looking at me with like a very mean face. Ben Callahan, listen to Ben Callahan. New York has just begun, baby. You ain't seen nothing yet. It's all a joke. Everything New York has contributed culturally up to now is a shit stain compared to what the fuck we're gonna do. Compared to my live streams. Oh, here we are on the Gold Coast, the Crypto Riviera here. I think the way to get rich these days is by selling with the callback. Yeah, I'm going to the ice pick business. Like Morty's wigs. That motherfucker got ice picked. Is that why he gets ice picked? Is that just like a South Brooklyn thing to ice pick fucking people? New York is alive, but crypto is deceased. That's just what we want you to think, okay? We're buying now for when it explodes. Have you ever been to PubKey? I'm on the verge of buying an Xbox and monitor. Okay. See, that's what everyone in New York is doing now. Everyone is playing Skyrim, okay? Fuck real life. Fuck being out. Let the businesses die. Let the performance artists die. Genocide of the performance artists. Let them all starve. We don't want that. We don't want piss Christ. Jesse Helms does not want piss Christ. Jesse Helms owns New York now, okay? This is Jesse Helms, New York, okay? There is no piss Christ here. I am piss Christ, okay? You are a level 1000 necromancer. You are piss Christ. Okay. We're here at Dante. I don't know. I'm harassing people on my live stream yelling about piss Christ. Oh, it's the end of history, everybody. What a perfect metaphor. What a great way to end this live stream, huh? Here at the end of history. I don't know. I think we're beyond history. We're going into the 6th dimension. It's just whatever frequency you want to vibrate at. You know, maybe your vibration is too low. Maybe my vibration is just too low to be a billionaire. Or even, okay, here's something I did want to talk about. I was just in the bodega, and on the cover of the New York Post was a fucking screen cap of a TikTok video that I just watched this morning. It popped up in my feed, and to be honest, I did watch it. We live in a dream, inside a dream, inside a hallucination, inside a fantasy, inside a poem. I mean, all of life is a poem. That's the secret they don't want you to know. You have to feel it with your hands, like potatoes in the dirt feel, with their roots growing out of their blindness. You feel it. Get in touch with your inner body, will tell you everything you need to know. The cover of the fucking New York Post, it was this woman. She was an Iranian woman. Maybe you've seen this TikTok video. And I listened to it because I was like, okay, this is interesting. I couldn't really tell which side she was on, but the video was about, you know, where have you been? Why haven't you been protesting up till now? Vanilla Sky, yes. I love Vanilla Sky. My life is like sort of a mediocre manifestation of Vanilla Sky. I saw Vanilla Sky in the theater, okay? That's how old I am. That's how much of a fucking geriatric millennial I am. I saw fucking Vanilla Sky in the theater. This is a beautiful little block here, and these fucking businesses here. This is Cowgirl Seahorse. Yeah, so I saw fucking Vanilla Sky in the theater. And I modeled my life on David Ames' teachings. I want to be just like David Ames and run a magazine empire. The keys to the kingdom. Yeah, so, I don't want to disturb these people. And I'm like, what? So the video was all about don't blame Iran or something, or don't call it Iran, because it's the regime, right? It's the Islamic regime there. And why haven't people, you know, the way that the regime has been treating women and this and that. And so I thought, okay, you know, I thought it was a pretty interesting video. It's crazy what's going on. But I was like, you know, the New York Post is literally writing a front page fucking article about a goddamn TikTok video. And oh my god, I got 7 people watching all of a sudden. I better say something interesting. I just saw Steve Van Zandt on the street. The lady hushed me. You missed so much action already. You have to go back and watch from the beginning. I mean, everybody's out right now. Look at this parade of humanity. Ashley finished her poem. Hey, Ashley, how do you know when a poem is finished? Tell everybody. I like Cannonball's answer. I gave like sort of a professor technical answer. Cannonball gave a poetry answer. I just saw Steve Van Zandt. He's wearing a paisley shirt. I think they're kind of like, I don't know. It's always the first week of spring is when you see celebrities in the West Village. It's not really the whole year, but it's always like the very beginning of April when the trees are looking nice. That's when the celebrities are kind of out a little bit. That's, you know, when they allow themselves to be seen. They want to feel like they're famous again. They've had to be inside all winter. People have been like coming up on this. They need that validation hit. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I am Steve Van Zandt. Oh yeah, I was in The Sopranos. You're right. Here we are, Lucille Lortel Theater, everybody. We're all out and about. Yeah, so fucking New York Post is writing a front page story about a TikTok video. It's like, the media has already moved. You know, if people are not, if you're you. I've only got 10% battery. He's a piece of shit. You know, please like and subscribe. Stay safe out there. Get a can of mace, you know, and be real. Okay, have a great night.